Good morning, class. Welcome to Tuesday. Today I'm going to talk to you about the introductory paragraph. This is the first paragraph that you will write when you write your essay paper, and sometimes it's also the hardest one to write as well. For this activity, you will need out a sheet of blank paper, and also if you have your 3 source sheets and your outline handy as well, that will be helpful too. If you need to, pause the video and make sure you have that material before you continue on. So, I'm going to give you some examples of 3 different ways that a research paper essay can be started. And I want you to put a number 1 on your paper and then choose which one of these leads or hooks is better. Lead 1. This essay is about whether or not potentially offensive CDs should carry warning labels. I'm a music store owner and I think they shouldn't carry warning labels. Lead 2. Can you imagine going through the rest of your life being told what you can and cannot say? Music artists go through this type of anguish every time a parental advisory explicit lyrics label is placed on one of their CDs. Or lead number 3. As a music store owner, I feel that it should not be mandatory for CDs to carry any type of warning labels. Pause the video for a second and write down your choice of which lead you think is the better of the 3, and give me a quick reason why you think that is. So when it comes to writing an effective introductory paragraph, you want to have these 3 main parts. Last week we talked about hooks and the different kinds of hooks there are. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the more specific parts. So the first thing you need to do, which is why we talked about the leads, is to capture the reader's attention. And this can be done by posing a question, stating a relevant quote, making a strong statement, or using a statistic. In the leads we saw in the previous slide, you'll notice that lead number 2 does the best job of capturing the reader's attention. It puts them in the situation of imagining like none of us want to be told what we can and cannot say in life, but helping us to realize like that's what music makers have to do all the time. So they chose to capture the reader's attention by posing a question, and then they also kind of added a little bit to that by starting and giving us some background information about what their paper is going to be about. This relates then to introducing the main points to be discussed. So since you are telling me why animal would be good to own and why it would be difficult to own, you're going to give me some main points in a sentence or 2, or it should be 2 sentences, about why a cat would make a good animal, for example. So you might say cats make great pets. They can be loving and they can be cuddly and friendly. However, for some, they don't like to clean out litter boxes, and the hair that they leave all over might be a reason why some might not want to have this pet to own. Then finally, the last sentence is going to be where you state your thesis, which is the topic and your opinion on it from your chosen perspective. So for most of you, your thesis we already wrote, it's on your outline, so you already have this sentence done. So that's awesome. You already have 1 out of the 4 sentences that you need to write done. So let's take a look at the hook of the sentences, of the paragraph. So the hook, aka get their attention or the attention getter, can be done in 4 easy ways. The first one is you can pose a question to the people who are reading your paper, such as, have you ever thought about what it would be like to own a dog for a pet, or to own a parrot for a pet, or Komodo dragon, or whatever your animal is? You can also list a relevant quote, but remember to use quotation marks and also to cite your sources. An example, a pit bull that is aggressive toward other dogs will also be aggressive toward humans. And then you can go on to kind of talk about why that may not always be true and why they may or may not make a good dog. You can use a statistic, which also comes from your research, so make sure that you give the citation for it. For an example, a panda's average lifespan is 20 to 25 years in the wild and up to 30 in captivity. This would mean they'd make a great pet. You continue on and talk about why that would mean they'd make a good or not good pet, and then you have your thesis statement after that. Or you can tell the surprising fact. Many species of cichlid are classified as endangered due to uncontrolled hunting, collecting of cichlids for the aquariums, introduction of predators, and pollution of the water. You'll notice that the giant panda and the cichlid facts come from an article that has the title only and no author. So make sure you put those in quotations when you put them in your parentheses as well. So I want you to pause this video and write a sentence or two based on one of these 4 ways for a hook on your paper. Please have the teacher that's in the room check this before you continue on with the video. The next part of writing your introduction is to give me a preview for me or preview for your audience of what you're going to say. Roughly, it's 2 sentences in length. It introduces the audience or me to what you're going to discuss in your paper. And it can include comments on the subject that you feel, or also some history or background information on the topic. So maybe you're talking about pit bulls, and that was a popular animal that students chose, and you're talking about, for many years and still today, pit bulls are considered to be a dog that is difficult to care for and are aggressive, and that many people are discouraged from owning them. However, pit bulls can be a great dog and can be a really loving and loyal companion. And then you would put your thesis statement, and that would be your topic. The final thing is the thesis, and you guys already have this thesis statement down, so that's really awesome. So you need to just write down your thesis, which is that topic sentence that tells what you're writing about in your paper. So now you need to take your hook that you have written, and you need to add your background topics that you have. So I'm going to go back a slide so you can see these and pause this. So preview what you're going to say. So you need to have about 2 sentences because your hook is going to be a sentence or 2. Introduce me to what you're going to discuss. Think about comments on the subject that you read about or or give some history or background information on the topic as well. Another example could be pandas. Pandas are rented from China, I believe. And so you can maybe talk about how if, owning pandas is a rare thing and it's pretty special to own one. However, it might be difficult to have because you can only have them for so many years because they have to be rented or something like that. But use some of your research and history and background information on this topic as well. So what you need to do for the rest of the period is you need to get that introductory paragraph written. So you need to have your hook, then you need to have your 2 sentences about proving what you're going to say, and then your thesis. So you have to have at minimum 4 sentences in that first paragraph. If you have any questions about anything, please ask the teacher that's in the room for some help. If you're done with that, then go on to paragraph 2 and 3, which you have your topic sentences for. If those are done, check and double check and triple check that you have your citations in there because a lot of students forgot those. That equals plagiarism, that equals a 0 for you. I may be back towards the end of class or I may not. If not, work hard, be good, and I'll see you later.